I want to talk about work meetings because on Twitter, I saw something about how it costs companies so many $1 billion. And oh my God, it's all about the companies losing money for the betterment of their employees, right? Like, I will never understand why companies cry about the cost of running a business. It got me thinking about the meetings that we have. I hear a lot of my colleagues complaining about them. Let it be because of what time they take place, what is discussed. And I'm telling myself, if only you took the time to actually talk to your managers and get to find out what is happening, you would understand the point of meetings. But if you also did a little bit of critical thinking, you may actually realize how important and good meetings can be beyond the content of them. When it comes to the perspective of management, I tell myself, I have never been a fucking manager. So if they are opting for having this meeting in person as opposed to sending an email, like the Twitter trend was suggesting, this could have been an email. This is wasting time, also wasting company resources. I'm telling myself, if we force you to attend this meeting, we have an opportunity for everybody to receive the same kind of content from the same source, and the floor is open for you to confront management in the event you don't understand something on the spot, and everybody gets to hear about it. Because if you reply to an email, some people may not get it, some people may miss it. Not everybody in the team has email access because not all of us need to do computer work. And as grateful as I am for my email access, I realized that I became a better employee the moment I had access to email. But I also became a better employee the moment I began attending meetings. It is always the people who complain about the job or do their job poorly who complain about going to meetings. It's really sad because to me, meetings are also an opportunity for me to get to know the team. Because there's people that based on my schedule and the schedule that they have, I never see them unless I happen to pick up a shift that puts me outside of my regular hours, and then I get to meet someone or become reacquainted with someone who I used to work with before my schedule changed. I don't think people value the power of bonding. And to me, meetings can be a great opportunity for me to see everybody in a different light. Because when you're trying to bond with people, if you're a responsible employee, realistically, when work is going down, that's not a good time to bond. Meetings at least tend to be laid back and relaxed and quiet. You're not worried about customers, you're worried about each other. But for some reason, people don't value that. And I wish to understand where that got lost. Or if maybe my way of looking at things is just too weird for the society I inhabit. But I just thought that I would share that. Meetings are particularly important for people who are new to a company, because I remember when I was hired and we were having the meetings, I always looked forward to the meetings because it let me hear from every single member of management. And people who I would perceive negatively, I could perceive more positively. And I just hated the fact that the person who I would see during the meetings is the person I wanted to see during job hours. So then I told myself, I recognize that some people have an area of growth, opportunity, and that would be personality. Why is it that the manager who I used to associate as being stressful and negative, when we were having meetings, she was all like relaxed and chill, an actual functional regular ass person? But then when it was during work hours, it's like, okay, this taught me that this person doesn't necessarily need to be a 24-hour bitch. This person simply struggles with their stress management while on the job. So in a future meeting, I could propose that we go over that, how to identify someone who's overwhelmed, what we should do when we feel that way, or how we can get away from those situations, or how do we heal from that. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that I can think about now looking back, since I have more experience and I have matured a lot myself. But now I'm thinking, if I were to run into an individual who treats me like that, I would know exactly what to do and what to say and when to say it. Meetings, for me, they are great. I hope that they don't get rid of them. But for the people who don't like them, explain to me why you don't like them. Give good ass reasons, because the reasons y'all give, which is, oh, it's too late, it's too early, like, you have to understand that you're part of this organization. You will have to make sacrifices, okay? Missing one night from home for like an hour, it ain't gonna kill you. It doesn't matter who you are, how many kids you have, how many responsibilities outside of work you have. It is perfectly doable. I think that it's a lack of organization and a lack of focus on your part. But for anyone who shits on meetings, I hate it, because new people will always benefit from meetings. And even veterans, sometimes I vividly and actively remember material that we went over in previous meetings, and it's coming up again. Some people say, well, we already know this. Why are you saying it again? It needs to be said because y'all ain't doing it. That's one. And second, sometimes the very people who were present in those meetings where something was said, they're like, I had never heard of that before. And I'm like, I remember when they said it 2-3 meetings ago. What were you doing? Running your fucking mouth, not paying attention. It's not the meeting's fault. It's your fault. Your lack of focus, your lack of attention. It's like some of y'all are like in high school, where you're bullshitting with your classmates, you miss the material, and then you get it wrong in the test, and you claim that the teacher never went over that. No, we did. You were just bullshitting, going your own way. So anyways, you guys, let me know how you feel about meetings, and if you find them annoying, why? Like, this is your opportunity to teach me something that maybe I haven't considered or realized, because I don't necessarily feel like I have the best compelling reasons as to why meetings are amazing. I can just speak from experience. I don't think that communicating with your team is ever too much. There cannot be too much communication, I don't believe. And I think that people stopped valuing that until something happens, and then you're like, well, management never communicated that. And I'm like, what do you want? Do you want little information or too much information? Because when they give you little information, you ain't happy. When they give you too much information, you ain't happy. How much information is just right? But I also think that the people who are no longer passionate or invested in the organization are the people who are going to say things like that, because that's not something that I say. To me, repetition gets annoying when it's someone who treats me like it's my first day on the job. I trained you, so like I would know the material, and I'm not someone who's forgetful. So maybe this person is treating me based on the experiences that they have had with other people who tend to be forgetful, and then they just assume that everybody has the forgetfulness disease. Look at this face, listen to this voice, and make sure you don't forget it. Don't repeat things to me. I don't need it. Unless I need something repeated, don't repeat it, because it's gonna piss me off. I don't need repetition. I will request the repetition. Wait for me to request the repetition. I'll never hide the fact that I'm a pretty arrogant person, but my arrogance is like the consequence of me just, I guess, absorbing the material so well and practicing it that I guess my expectations are high about the folks who surround me. I get frustrated when that's not met, because then I feel like I'm the one being held to a different standard, and it feels unfair. Yep, I'm never gonna hide it. I am an incredibly prideful and arrogant person, and I get to that point when I'm just annoyed by those who have more experience than me, or I should be learning from, especially based on the position that they have at the job, and they aren't. I lose respect. So when I lose respect for some people, that's when my attitude comes out and I sound full of myself. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.